If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is November the 8th, 2022, and today the topic is a message for those in sorrow. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Tuesday. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Mine included a lot of conversations, but to God be the glory, man. I'm thankful for all things. I'm also thankful for the confirmation that I received yesterday as well, that, a few of you all resonated with the things that I shared yesterday. So to God be the glory for that. I'm truly, truly thankful. And I'm also thankful to my new friends. I want to say hello to my new friends from the sanctuary. The app that I joined that I was telling you all about in the after show yesterday. Had a couple of people that, mentioned that they were going to follow the podcast. And then I had someone that tuned in and, commented and said that the verse, was resonating with them and everything like that. And so again, to God be the glory. Hello, welcome to the new friends from the sanctuary. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And I hope that the things that you guys see and hear encourages you and inspires you on your journeys. So, friends, this morning I am equally as excited to share this message. But at the same time, it was kind of like, I can't make this stuff up, man. I just cannot make this stuff up. I mean, I feel like I'm a creative person, you know what I'm saying? I'm a bit of an artist in my own mind, But it just blows my mind, like the things that God has been showing and doing with me, for me, and through me, and I'm thankful. But I'm still in awe, so I mean, ultimately I'm gonna do what I always do, and share with you all how I came to today's topic and all that different type of stuff. Hopefully, again, to encourage you and inspire you on your journeys and everything like that. But yeah, I hope and pray that these things that I'm sharing today will encourage you and inspire you. So, a message for those in sorrow. Okay. So, long story short, by the time I did get some rest yesterday, basically, yeah, all I remember is I went to sleep at some point. It was a little bit before our son's bedtime, and I'm like, all right, it's bedtime, I'm going to sleep, blah, blah, blah. And I go to sleep, but then I find myself waking up. I don't know if it was one of those strange occurrences again. I can't remember how I woke up, but I found myself up again. I looked at the clock. It was 10:59. And so I looked up the Bible. I was like, Bible 10:59, and then I went back to sleep. So then I woke up this morning, 3:49. And I did the same thing, went back to sleep. I might have had a dream. I don't remember it. So, I don't know about all that. But anyway, so by the time my alarm went off at 4, which is supposed to be the time I get up, um, I do my little thing. I get on social media. I'm seeing little stuff, whatever. And ultimately, eventually, I start to get focused and like I need to do my prayer meditation. So I listened to the prayer meditation for today. But unfortunately, I don't even really remember it because again, I've been engulfed in a message for those in sorrow. So I don't remember it enough to share with you all what I listened to this morning with the prayer meditation. But it was good. It was nice to reflect on. It got my heart and mind ready to receive, right? And so I feel led to go back and see what the verses, like what was coming up with 1059, what came up with 349, right? And so I go and I look at 1059. So the interesting thing is, yesterday and today, I noticed that there were like things came up, but it didn't look familiar, and it was supposed to be Bible. And I was like, huh, what is this? So today the word was Esdra. It was like second Esdra, something, something, something. And I'm like, that does not sound familiar. Like, what is this? And then I went to look in the Bible and I didn't see Esdra. I was like, did I miss that book? Like, X, Y, and Z. And so I go deeper, a little bit and whatnot. And come to find out, I guess that's one of the books that have been taken out of the Bible or is not seen as part of the Bible. And I'm like, okay. So I went a little deeper with that thought, like, well, why is it not, trying to get some understanding about that. But then eventually, I guess I kind of felt like perhaps this is just a distraction then, because if it's not part of the Bible, I don't need to go that deeper about it, because at the end of the day, what the verse said is irrelevant to whatever the Lord is trying to tell me, because it's not in the Bible. That's how I felt about it. So I went back to 1059 and I'm like, okay, I saw a verse there, which I think I'm going to share with you all. I think so. Yeah, I came across, it was flipped actually, which is so funny now that I say that out loud. So I'm going to read to you guys something that's going to be like 59 and 10, but again, the time was 10:59. So I went to the Strong's Concordance. And let me say this first. So then I checked out 349, Bible 349, and read the verses centered around that. And I saw something about weeping, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, okay. And so it wasn't resonating at that moment, basically. And so I went to the Strong's Concordance at that point, and I read the Hebrew and Greek words, and I put this in the Go Deeper section so you guys can look up and see what those words are and how you say it and all that stuff on your own. But I looked up those words and it reminded me of what I read for 349. And I was like, interesting. And so then I look up the Strong Concordance for 349. And again, I found it to be very interesting. Now, again, you guys can read the exact words on your own, but what I received from that gave me this sentence. A weeping Israelite cries out, how? Now, I found that to be interesting for a few reasons, because one, again, the weeping part reminded me of the verse that I'm going to share with you all momentarily, Psalms 59 and 10. But I was like, okay, was it that one? Well, it reminded me of the whatever I had came across this morning that said something about weeping. So maybe I got the, oh, no, it reminded me of 349. Okay, it reminded me of the verse that I came across when I was reading 349. And so I was like, okay, Lord, so you're telling me something about this, okay? And I'm like, so somebody's crying out to you and asking you how? But the interesting thing about that is, I've heard several times recently from different ministries and like when I'm in church and whatnot, this phrase, how is not for now. So when I read that this morning and when I was receiving that this morning, I'm like, okay, so somebody's crying out and asking you how, but you told me that how is not for now. That's what you've been saying over the past few weeks. How is not for now. You don't want me to even ask how. So you know what I mean? So it's like, what you want me to say? Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? And then we got into the Bible, and I ended up reading the entire Lamentations 3. So that is the Go Deeper section for you all today. And I hope and pray that anybody that is in this place of sorrow, check out that, because obviously there's another person. This author was also in a place of sorrow, but there's a beautiful, beautiful passage that I'm going to read to you all that hopefully would be encouraging and inspiring, and everything like that. And I'm just like, man, it was just amazing how it all came together. Like once I read the Strong's Concordance, read a definition about, I think I looked up the definition of how, and then I started reading the Bible verses, and then it all started to make sense. Like the pieces wasn't making sense when this morning when I was like, oh, 10:59, 3:49, and I was reading things separately. But when it all came together, I was like just having my moments of praise to be like, wow. So again, I hope these things encourage you and bless you. But this is what I came across this morning, and this is what I have to share for the Jews. So Lamentations 3:49, and then we're gonna add on 50 because I feel like that was very important. So Lamentations 3:49 says, "My eyes will flow unceasingly without relief." So that reminded me of the weeping sea. But check out what 50 says. It says, "Until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees." Can we just give a moment of silence and praise for until? Listen, it say, your eyes will flow unceasingly without relief until until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees. So the Lord sees you, friend. The Lord sees you. All right. So that's already good. All right, that's already good news, at least to me now. Okay. So then Psalm 59:10, which was the opposite of the time, the time, 10:59. And the opposite of the verse that was trying to distract me over in the books that got taken away. Okay. So Psalm 59:10. The God of my mercy shall prevent me. God shall let me see my desire upon my enemies. Uh-oh. Now that's some pulp for your enemies, right? But it's telling me that now, again, it says, until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees, and then it says, the God of my mercy shall prevent me, and God shall let me see my desire upon my enemies. So God sees, okay, and then he's going to let you see pretty much the desires of your heart. That's what I'm getting from that. Now, all the stuff about the enemies and stuff like that, that's a whole nother level, but that's something to think about as well. Because if you're dealing with that type of issue, from what I'm receiving here, the Lord will let you see, your desire, whatever that is that you desire. I say, let's keep in mind, like, that lines up with his will now. That's going to line up with his will. But anyway. So then I checked out Lamentations 3. Like I said, I went deeper. I read, pretty much the whole thing. But there was these verses right here that stood out to me. And I feel like this is the message for you, for those that are in sorrow, okay? Lamentations 3:19 through 26. Yes, prepare your hearts and minds, friends. Prepare your hearts and minds, okay? Because like I said, same thing from yesterday. Like, I'm reading a lot, so if I stumble bumble, y'all know me already. All that. So here we go. Lamentations 3:19 through 26. Remembering mine affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall, my soul hath them still in remembrance, and is humbled in me. This I recall to mind, therefore I have hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Listen. I hope that encourages you and inspires you today, those that are in sorrow. And what I received this morning, as I was reading this, it made me think about an article that I saw when I woke up, when I was just scrolling on social media. And the article said, build multi-generational wealth with this mindset. That was the name of the article. Now, I'm feeling like this is just me. I don't know if this is just me or for me, but I'm going to share it anyway, hopefully to help you. Because what stood out to me the most as I was writing those verses down from Lamentations was the part that says, this I recall to mind. It's verse 21. This I recall to mind, therefore I have hope. You see, when you read Lamentations 3, the whole thing is like talking about all this bad stuff. It's like, oh, this happened to me. That happened to me. I feel like this. I feel like that. I feel like that. And then it comes to that verse right there that says, well, the part that I started reading to you all saying, remembering my affliction. That person is remembering their afflictions. They're remembering their misery, the wormwood and the gall. And then it goes and say, my soul hath in them still in remembrance and is humbled in me, right? And then the part that really, really stood out this morning was the verse 21. This I recalled to mind, and therefore I have hope. See, I feel like that comes with the renewal of our minds. Like, we remember all the things we are going through and what we've been through, maybe stuff that we've been through in the past, and knowing that we have made it through, I have hope now, right? I don't have to stay in that sad place, right? I don't have to stay in the place of misery or sorrow because I know what the Lord can do. And so I believe what I'm receiving this morning is that if we renew our minds and take on this mindset in regards to the things that we are going through and the sorrows and all that different type of stuff, and then understand that what we need to do is that last verse, which is to, what it say? It is good for a man that a man should both hope. So you need to keep the hope, right? And quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Hope and wait for the salvation of the Lord. If we do that and take on that mindset, then I believe that what I'm receiving is that mindset is going to build generational wealth, multi-generational wealth. So that's the juice this morning, y'all. That is the juice. Listen. Y'all can believe me or not about how I came to this. At this point, I don't even really care whether you believe me or not. I'm telling y'all what happened this morning. I'm telling y'all that at the end of the day, I wasn't in no sorrowful place. Now, I might have been asking the Lord how about some few things, but the weeping and all of that, lamenting and all of that, like, I can't say that that's my personal testimony in this particular moment. Now, that might have been my testimony back during the cultivation period. Now, I ain't gonna lie about that. Now, I've been there, definitely, for sure. I have definitely been there. But what I'm saying is I'm not in the midst of that to be like, okay, and then that's what made me search things, and that's what made me get to this conclusion today. Like, to me, I feel like all of this is just orchestrated by the Lord. I do have somebody on my heart and mind that I intend to share this with, and whatnot, in the event that I hope that it does help. But regardless, right, I'm telling y'all how I came to this. It wasn't, I'm not that great, is what I'm saying. Like, I can, humbly say that I'm not that great. Like, so all I did was wake up at these random times, and this is what the Lord shared with me. So I hope these things encourage you and inspire you, whether it's just me and my testimony and being humbly saying that, in any part of what I shared, I hope that it encourages you and inspires you. And yeah, like I said, y'all, that's the juice. But if just in case you wanted some confirmation again, just in case, the Bible verse of the day is Isaiah 26:3. It says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Hey y'all, I'm Nyla O'Neal with Anchor Phlebotomy Institute. We're located at 737 South Hill Street in Griffin, Georgia. Look, this program was birthed out of a will to help and push you closer to your dream, customizing each and every learning path for each and every student, giving you hands-on education with myself and other teammates. We're here to help you and drive you to be the best version of yourself. Look, we're a 12-week program, and it will be vigorous, but it will be worth the work. Put the work in, you will see it in the end. We are dedicated to seeing you not only finish our program, but to get certified. We are an accredited school through the National Phlebotomy Solutions, and we are so ready to meet each and every one of you. Contact us today.